and quick recap. What are we going to do? Why are we going to do this? So we are having a lot of questions now. The workshop is done and you have gone through all of the videos. Few set of people have not gone through because of the technical issues. Fine. One more week is there for them. You people can go and learn, see as many number of times you want to do the practice and everything, which is for next 1 week. Okay, coming back to those who have already gone through all the 4 videos, again, this is going to be a summarization for you people, right? So what did we see first? Introduction to DB. Yes. So what as part of introduction to DB? So you got introduced to the database, right? So what are you doing here? What is a database? And what is the sample database which we have taken here? Oracle database. So Oracle database is a database which you have taken as a sample to do your SQL learning, right? And here, what have you done? You have gone through certain logical views, and again, then you have seen a list of database objects, and then again few states of database as well. So introduction to database was the first topic to get you introduced to the actual database. Okay. The second one, what we have done is introduction to data. Again, as part of data, we have seen the types and constraints. Why did we see this? This is going to help you to do a good query, right? Next is tool. Obviously, we need a tool. We need a tool to communicate or to get connected to the database and then try out our SQL learning, right? So that is why we have got the introduction to tool as well. The next is introduction to SQL. Here we have seen all the categories of SQL and all the types of statements and listed categories each one by one and the listed respective statements as well. The next one is functions. Now we have gone through all of these statements, how to write a statement and what is the syntax of the statement and all of these categories of statements and all. And what is the real purpose of each and every category in a SQL statement, right? So all of this knowledge is going to get enhanced by implementing the SQL built-in functions. SQL built-in functions. So SQL built-in functions were used inside these statements, which we actually learned, right? So that was the next topic. What is the next is joins. How are you going to even consider multiple tables, get data from the multiple tables, one or more tables combined together and then get a result set according to your requirement? That we have seen through joins. What are the basic types of joins and what are the definitions by each types of joins? How are we going to get the required data? That's what we have seen, right? And last but not least, we have got an introduction about subqueries. Believe me, guys, these are the basic things what we have gone through, and these are going to help you to understand what is a database, data, SQL learning, and all of these things are going to help you in doing the data analysis. So where are we going to do this data analysis? Inside a database. So whatever data you have inside a database, you're going to do some data analysis, right? So that's all about the recap. We can complete recap. Okay. So what is next? Okay, workshop is done. And now I have a clear picture about database, data, and SQL queries and functions, joins, and subqueries. How am I going to write these statements and how it is going to function, the functionalities of each of these things, all of these ideas I've already got. Now, what else I have to do? What is the next step, right? Where should I start? How do I practice? All of these questions pop into your mind. Yes, that's why we're going to have some certain topics which is going to help you to understand even more of these set of topics which has been discussed in the workshop, right? The first one what we're going to see is two perception of database. What do you mean by two perception? There is one logical view and physical view. Indu, we did not see this physical view. Why didn't we see this in the workshop? Because in order to understand the database, in order to imagine a database, you need to know about the logical view. So inside a server, you have database, table space, segment, block, and to be noted, set of blocks are called as extent. Yes? Good. So that is all about logical view, which you have already seen in the workshop. What about the physical view is This is something when you actually log into the database. Imagine your database is your laptop. Again, you go inside. What do you find inside? All of folders and files, right? All of folders and files. So what comes here is, what are these files? I've listed certain set of 6 files: data, control, password, parameter, redo, and archive. What are these files? These are mandatory files which are supposed to be inside a container so that you can call the particular container as a database. So to call a container as a database, you need to have this list of files. What are the types of files? These are types of files, not just single files. These are types of files. These are the 6 type of files which are going to be present inside a database. Okay, so what is the first file? Data file. The name itself explains it is going to contain all the pointers to the data, actual data, right? The second one, what is the control file? Imagine, guys, you're going to build a house, and again, to build a house, you should have a design in your hand, right? A blueprint, a design, obviously. So in order to access the database, okay, the physical view actually should have a design in its hand. So what happens? This control file is nothing but a blueprint. The structure of the database will actually store inside this control file. Structure of the database will be put up inside this control files. And next is password. As we all know by its name, username and password, you are all users who are actually having the access to the database will be stored in the password files. And what about the parameter files? Parameter files are nothing but, we have already seen the database states, right? Database states. What are the 3 states? Quickly, come on in the chat. What were the 3 different states? Come on, quickly in the chat. What are the 3 different states of database? Yes, good. I'm getting answers. Open. Yeah. Yeah, mount status, open status, mount status, and inactive status. Good to go. Very good. So here what happens is, here, open, mount, and inactive status. What do you mean by open status? Where the users can use. Mount status is where DBA team actually works to do the maintenance work and upgradation work. And then inactive is where the pre-mount status, where you do certain things. Okay. So what happens here is, in order to push a database from one state to another state, you need some variables or parameters, right? Those set of parameters are there in the parameter files. So what is the real use of parameter files? In order to push the state from one of the database state to another state, then this parameter file is actually used. Indu, come on, tell me. You have given us a video, an installation video, where we have gone through few certain steps. In those steps, you asked it to do this alter session database open. Yes, you're trying to open the database. In the unlock HR document or in the unlock HR video, you would have found that we were trying whether to check whether it is open or not. If it is already open in the video, so I would have skipped that part, and in the document it will be there. In case if it is not open, then you can run a statement open. Okay. By running that alter statement, what happens is the database gets pushed to another. So whenever you call that particular statement, what that statement is going to do, it is directly going to hit this parameter file and going to get the parameters and then push the database to from one state to another state. That is what internally happens. Right? So that is all about parameter files. And redo log and archive log. Come on, everybody is aware of it. Everybody in this call and everybody is aware of it. Why I'm telling so is, redo log and archive log is nothing but a backup. What do we do in our mobile if the photos are full, like the memory space is full? What do we do when the memory space is full? We actually take a backup and then we free up the spaces in the mobile and then we start using it. The same way, redo log files are the ones which are actually getting loaded, and once in a while, like every time when it is getting full, then obviously the online copies are taken. Like you push the photos to Google Photos Cloud. Yes, we all do that. I do that. right? So that is what happening in as part of archive log file. So there is a online copy of the offline data. Offline data is nothing but the present transactions, right? So the present thing, whatever you're having in your mobile, right? Then you push to the online copy. So archive log is nothing but the online copy and redo log is offline copy. Good to go. So these are the 6 types of files which are actually going to be present inside the database, and these are mandatory files. Again, there will be number of data files generated as per the data, actual data when it grows, obviously, and the control files are going to get updated if you're going to upgrade your version of the database, because blueprint is actually going to, the design is going to change, right? So all of these files are going to be up to date. What? Up to date. Why are we seeing this logical view and physical view? What is this two different perception of database? Why do we have these two different perception? Because logical view is somehow to understand the logic of how a data is getting stored in a database, or again, in other words, you can at least have an imagination about how a database actually would look like if I scan it through the logical way, functionality wise. And when it comes to physical view, none of those things come into part here, because whenever you say that I have all the photos in my laptop, in that photo I used to look like that, used to look like this. Anyhow, when you log into the later database laptop, what happens is you are always going to see folders and files. Once you open the file, and then you can access the file and see the expressions in the photo. So same thing happens. So logical view is something, the design of how the data is actually getting stored, the imagination, how you should imagine a database, the image of database. And the physical view is nothing. Actually, when you log in, there will be only files and folders, and these are the set of 6 types of files which are going to be present inside the database, so that it is actually called as database, right? Okay, fine. So what is next? Okay, schema. We are going to see and talk about schema for next 1 minute. What is the schema I'm talking about? All of us, as part of this workshop, what we have done is nothing but we have unlocked a user called as HR. Yes or no? Hit on yes or no in the chat. Hit on yes or no in the chat. Yes, we have all unlocked. We have all unlocked the HR schema. Yes, yes. Good. I'm getting a lot of S's. Good. So we have all accessed and we have actually unlocked the HR schema, and then inside the unlock of HR, inside this HR schema, actually we found the sample database. Good. Yes, we saw these employees table, departments table. These are the set of tables which was already there. Yes, so from Oracle website, we downloaded a version of database, yes, 19C, and then we knew how to do the installation. As part of the installation, after the installation, what we have done, we have unlocked the HR user, and then we have started using the database using that particular user. So that is nothing but a schema. So what is the word schema? Everyone would have heard, okay, what is schema? Again, HR user, schema. What are you confusing about, Indu? You're not getting it. Come on. Let's take it plain. Actually, HR is a schema, and it can also be referenced as user for the database. For the database, it can be used as a user. What is a schema? Imagine that you are going to enter into a house. Everybody who are there in the call now, we are going to enter into a house. I'm having a key. I'm having a key card, and each one of you in your hands, you're going to have a key card. And with this key card, each one of you are going to enter inside the house. When I enter the house, I see nothing inside the house. It is like total blank house. And then one of you people, come on, who is that? So one of you people, let me take James. Okay, let me take James. James is going to enter with his key card. Yeah, once he enters, he's able to see the fan and light and all of the mandatory things inside the house. What is this difference? I'm not able to see anything. It is just a plain blank room, and James is able to see actually the lights and fans. And again, the next one. Okay, Shanmugam. Okay, Sunil or Shanmugam Jayachandran again. You you people are having one key cards with you. Yeah, you people also enter inside the house, and you people amazingly, surprisingly, you are able to see all the scattered clothes and tables, chairs, bed, sofa, all of these things, TV, fridge, and all of these things. It's like you people come out of the house and you talk about there was this TV, 50-inch TV, and James is going to come out and talk about I could see only the fans and lights. They were using the Philips light. And me, on the other hand, like blinking, I didn't see any of these things when I entered with my key card. What is this difference? Where does this difference come? With your key card? Yes, that is the security access allocation which has happened to your key card. So for my key card, they have not given any access at all. For James, they have given only the mandatory access. And then for Jayachandran and Sunil and others, you people have got the complete full control, full access. That's why you people were able to see all of it, right? So the same thing applies in database as well. Come back to the database. Come on. Let's come out of the house and key card and all. Now come back to the database. In the database, what are we actually seeing? Here in the database, you have lots of database objects, right? Lot of database objects are there. Tables, views, and stored procedures. There are a lot of database objects. And in these database objects, okay, HR is one of the schema which you have unlocked. What do you think inside the HR schema you have found? Employees, departments, jobs, country, all HR related informations. Yes or no? Yes or no? So all relevant data which is respective to HR, human resource team, has been clubbed, has been grouped, and then all these database objects, the respective tables, the respective views, the respective stored procedure triggers, all of the respective DB objects have been clustered, grouped together, and created under HR schema. So what does this HR schema mean? HR schema or user for the database. Okay, so using this schema, when you log in, you can see only the HR related informations, HR related database objects. Yes, there are a lot other schemas existing in the database again. So yes, for this sample database, what we have unlocked is HR schema. And yes, there are a lot of other schemas which can be accessed, and respective database objects also can be accessed. Okay, so schema is nothing but an access and data relevant DB objects clubbed together and put under one roof. Under one roof. Okay, in real-time example. Again, Indu, why should I understand all these schema? Yes, on real-time example, what happens is the best practice to write a query. Let's take a simple query, select star from employees, right? What did we do as part of this workshop? Select star from employees. Directly we typed in the table name. Yes, but actually in the real time, the best practice is select star from schema name dot the table name. Schema name dot the table name. Why are we actually doing this, Indu? Because that's a best practice where you actually say inside this HR schema, this employees table, I would like to see all the data. So I put star, select star from HR.employees semicolon, so that I could see all of the data of this table inside this schema. So that is how you have to actually run the query. Again, Indu, what is this? Do I have to do? Because we tried as select star from employees, it did work. Why should I even go and put the schema name? Does it not work? No, it will work. It will work. When you navigate or log into the particular schema and then you run the select star from the table, it is going to absolutely work. What about you are trying to access from another schema? Can we do that? Yes, obviously we can do that. Okay, that is exactly why you're going to use a schema name dot table name. Okay, so what happens here is you're going to use a schema name dot table name where you're going to realize that, okay, I'm from this schema and I'm going to access that particular schema's table. So what should I do? I should have access. That is the first point. you should have access to that particular schema as well, the other schema as well. When I'm here in this schema, I should have access. What is the second thing? The table which I'm querying should be actually present in that schema. Those are the only two things which you have to worry about. Obviously, if you have access and the table is existing inside the schema, fadafat you can get the result, the data, right? And you can start comparing and you can start doing all the analysis here in the schema. So this is why the schema is the understanding of the concept of the schema and where exactly are you going to use this concept is very, very important, right? The next one. Okay. How do you view the structure of the table? Come on. Everybody knows here how to do this, yes or not? But there is another way. For example, till now what you have known is you know how to create a table. You know how to query a table. Yes, creating and querying and doing manipulation inside the data, like insert, update, and all of these things, analysis things you are going to do. Absolutely fine. You learned how to write a query and how to do the analysis. Everything is fine. You have learned from the workshop. What about looking a structure of the database table alone? Structure of the database table. Okay, how do I see the structure? What is the metadata? The word which you're seeking is the metadata. Often people used to talk about metadata. What is metadata? The structure of the table. How many columns are there and each column is nullable or not nullable, and what is the data type of each column? If I have an ID column, whether it is a number or an integer, what data type it is actually given. So yes, you can have and see the structure of the database table. How did we see as part of this workshop? We navigated to the HR panel on the left pane, and then we have opened the table and then we clicked on the columns tab. Yes? Okay. Okay, so what did we do? What did we do? Here we came. Are you seeing? Here we came and then you open the list of tables. Yes, you open the list of tables and then you clicked on the particular table. The tab opened and in the columns tab, you were able to see the column name, data type, nullable or not, all of these structural related data. Okay, so mainly these are comments and column ID. These are not very important. The main structure is nothing but column name, data type and nullable. Yeah, whether it is nullable or not. What if I don't want to navigate like this? What if I don't want to do this in SQL developer tool at all? What if I want to do it in the backend, in the command prompt? Yes, you can do it. What is the query which I have to use? Describe. All of now, whatever we were speaking is nothing but describe. What is the table? Departments, right? Do not do spelling. Okay, describe departments. So what did we get in the result? What did we get in the result? The structure of that particular database table. We have listed the columns and then whether it is nullable or not, and then the type. Okay, going back to this. Okay, coming back here. This is how you see the structure of the table. Very good. You learned one thing extra apart from whatever you have seen in the workshop. What next, Ndl? What next? Import and export data in SQL developer tool. Yes. How do you do this? So far, we have seen all of the access of the data which is present inside the database, right? Inside the database, inside the HR schema, inside the database tables like employees, departments, etc., etc. There were many people who were interested as part of this batch. How do I import something outside the database? How do I export? Say, for example, I've done a query and I want to take that and save it as an outside the database. How do I do that? Absolutely, we are going to learn that now. How and what are we going to do? We want to run a simple select statement. Select start from employees. Yes, select start from employees, which everybody by now would have already performed. Yes, done. Just click on run. You have got the result. You have got the result here, listing all of the records inside this particular table. Okay, what should I do to export it into? Tell me that. Yes. Okay, result click. and right click on the result. You have got the query result tab on the bottom, and you're going to do a right click on the result and then click on export. So what you're going to do is click on export. Listen guys, you may take notes out of this, okay? So please take note, how do you export it outside the database? You have to right click the result and then click on export. Okay, I have done the export. Now what is open? Export wizard has opened. Export wizard has opened. Okay, in this export wizard, there are two steps. One is source or destination. What do you mean by header, Rindu? Header is nothing but employee's ID, first name, etc., etc. So all of these column names, the column names are nothing but headers. Do I want to keep the column names as a header in the Excel sheet or not? I want it. I want to know what are these data about, right? For each column. So what I'm going to do is I'm keeping it as checked. I'm keeping it as checked. Okay. So the next one is data worksheet name. So inside an Excel, what happens? You will have worksheet name. Okay, worksheet name. The worksheet name you can give it as, for example, here I've giving it as EMP, EMP details. Okay, so that is the name which I'm trying to give, worksheet name. Inside an Excel, you should have number of sheets. Yes, if you people have already used Excel sheet, so Excel, you have number of worksheets. These worksheets, the first worksheet, what I'm going to do is employee details. What is the next one? Query worksheet name. Do you want to export the query as well? What is the query here? Select start from employees. Yes or not? So do you want to export the query as well with respect to the data? So data and the query. For example, my mind is okay, fine. Let me go with the query as well. Okay, I've kept this as checked. Okay, so if you don't want to send the query across, you're exporting it and sending, okay, fine. Then you can remove the uncheck this option. Okay, so I have given the format and I've given the worksheet name and I've checked the query and then I've checked the header. I want to have the column names into the data headers. Okay, so I'm going to export it as a single file. Yes, and then I'm going to browse. What I'm going to do in the desktop, I'm going to save it as EMP because this is employees table. What I'm going to do is emp.xls. Okay, click on save. The name emp.xls. I want to save it as Excel file. So XLS, and then click on save, then next, and then click on finish. You will get a pop-up telling that export has been done, right? So what happens is, now we are going to see the desktop. Has it been done already? Yes, it has been done. Come on, let's see what are all the columns we have. All of the columns, employee ID, first name, last name, all the columns have got by the time. Okay, there are a lot actually. Okay, so there are a lot. Yes, including the header file, header line, it is actually showing. So it's okay. So we have got all of the records here. So what happens is, this is how you're going to extract the data as an Excel sheet. Come on, very good. So you have done it. So did we check in the query? Did we check in the query? Yes. Let's go to the next step. At the bottom, are you able to see this? EMP details. This is the worksheet name which we have given, right? And then the next sheet is there, SQL. SQL is the query which we have run, select star from employees. So this is exactly how you have to export the data along with the query. What if in real case you want to do a query, okay? You want to run a query and then you want to extract or export data, the result set, and send it across to your team. And you don't have to send the SQL. You don't want to share your query. You just want to send the results to the team so that you can uncheck that option, query worksheet name, and then you can generate so that the second worksheet will not come, only the employee details, the first result set alone will get exported. So this is one simple example of how we have got the export done. Very good. We have done the export done. Okay. So what happens is, how do we do import? We have done the export. How are we supposed to do the import again? Going back, import is kind of little different. We have to go into the import wizard. So what we have to do is, we are just going to the tables on the left side pane and do a right click. Right click on the tables, and then you can see import data. You can see import data. Right click on the tables, and then you can see import data. Click on import data. Very good. So we have got the data import wizard open. So in this wizard, we are having 5 steps. Okay, so yes, I'm going to use this local file. I'm going to browse it. So let's take an example of whatever we have already got, the latest one which we have exported, right? So what we are going to do is latest one. We are going to take the same Excel sheet, whatever we exported now. Okay, I've chosen that file. And again, do I want to keep the header as it is? Yes, I want to keep it. I want to keep that as a column name. Okay, fine. And then the format is Excel and the worksheet name is EMP details. In case if you have multiple worksheets, then obviously you can, from this drop down, you can select which worksheet actually you want to import. Yeah. So here it is only one sheet, so I'm selecting the same. Okay, so the data has got populated here. Already the data, once I have selected the file, the data has populated here. Click on next. Okay, here, what are we going to do? We are trying to insert, right? We are trying to import the data. So what we are trying to do is insert. Okay, let it be there. Table name. I'm going to give 01, EMP 01. I'm going to give the table name, the new table name where I'm actually trying to import the data. So that table name, I'm giving it as EMP 01. If you're going to put it inside the new table. Okay, so now what happens? Click on next. Once you click on next, you will be seeing a list of columns. Whatever column you have had in the worksheet, okay, in the worksheet, all of those columns will be there. What if I don't want few columns? Yes, you can remove. Select the column. For example, I don't like commission PCT, so I'm going to remove that. Okay, and then I'm going to remove, I don't want to share the email ID, so I'm going to remove that. Fine. So these are the 2 columns which I don't want as part of employee 01. Okay, next, click on next. Now, each and every column, whatever you have chosen, the selected list of columns, what is going to happen? You are going to see the list of columns and their respective, data type, and then whether it is nullable or not, and what is the name of the column, all of these details. If you have any changes to be done, you want to change any data type and anything, so you can do all of these changes. Once you click on and evaluate each one column, what happens is you're actually trying to evaluate, so it is getting bold, and then you're clicking and clicking, all of it are done, then click on next. So all the 5 steps are done. The last 5th step is nothing but finish. Yes, import is complete and import is committed. Okay, what do you mean by import is committed? Yes, I have imported the data inside as a table. And why does it say import committed? Because this is an insert statement as well. You're creating a table and then you're actually trying to insert a table data. So obviously it should be committed. That's why it says so. Okay, click on OK. And now, yes, we have got the table. Here, this is the table which we have created. We have got all of it except the commission PCT and the email column. These are the 2 columns which has been done for now. So this is all about import and export data. Guys, we have seen import, how to do an export and how to do the import. Obviously, there are a lot of other options. You can export it as a HTML and other ways are there. Please do go ahead and try out each and everything. See, experience what are the kind of export what I can do. How else I can do the import. So these are the I'm getting you to introduce the export wizard and the import wizard in the tool. Okay, good to go. So you have done all about this developer tool and how to do the import and export. Okay, so outside the database is what we have seen. Okay, this is done. The next one is constantly we are seeing this null inside the database. Constantly we are saying, for example, okay, let me open the employees table and click on data. See this commission PCT, it is having a lot of null values. What is this null? What am I supposed to understand out of this null? Is there something there, or actually bracket NULL, it is actually that is a data? What is it actually? So this is what we are going to do. Null is nothing but missing or unknown data or no actual data which is present there. There is no data. Actually, it is left out blank. Guys, you have to note down here, a single white space is also counted in the database. If you put a full stop or a single white space, press the space bar, again white space, everything is accounted as data. So let's not play with that. What you're actually trying to do is, there is no actual data present, then it is called as a null value, means it is blank. I'm seeing a lot of chats. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to lock this. Okay, and I'm going to tell you to hold on to the questions. Let's concentrate on the presentation and learn through few tricks. Okay, then I'll come back to the Q&A. Okay, fine. So null value is nothing but no actual data present. Now this raises a question to me. Okay, I have a null data inside this one particular table, and when my target table, I want to push the data from this table to a target table, another table, because my client is asking me and my teammate is asking me to push the data from here to there, and there in that target table, it is not allowing the null values. I'm sorry, the target table says no null values. What is this telling? Target table is telling no null values. I'll accept only the values, no null values. So what happens here? How are you supposed to, push the data from one table to another table where the corresponding columns are actually not accepting any null values? This leads to another question called as NVL function. So what is this function? We did not see this function. There are a lot of functions which we have not gone through in the workshop, because that is the basic essence of how many functions are there, what types of functions are there. So these are the things which we have seen. Again, NVL function is a general function. It is a general function. So what do you mean by this general function? Because this can be applied to any type of data type and wherever it is required, right? That's why it is called as general function. And what is the NVL function? It is going to convert a null value to an actual value. In case if you want to convert the null value into an actual value, then you have to go for this NVL function. This NVL function is going to help you to replace the null values. For example, in your database, let's go here back. Okay, what happens? Just commission PCT is a column which you are finding actually the null values. Okay, let me go down. Let me go down and see if there are values. Yes, I do have values. I'm seeing the list of values here. See, 0.4, 0.3, all these listed values are also there. But mostly this particular column is having null value. So I'm going to copy all of these employees table details into a target table where this commission PCT is also present. What should I do? Because there in the target table, commission PCT is actually not null column. It is not going to allow me to accept null values. So what am I supposed to do? Yes. What am I supposed to do is use the NVL function. And do what? You're going to replace it. How do we do that? NVL in the bracket, the expression 1 is what? The column commission underscore PCT. Commission underscore PCT, the column value. Comma, what is the replace value which you want to give? For example, it is a number column. Yeah, numeric type column. So what I'm going to do, replace it with 0, right? Obviously, I'll go for 0, right? So I'll give commission PCT here and I'm going to give 0 here. So I'm not going to do the change, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how are you going to write this. Select, okay, I'm going to use the column so that I don't have any spelling mistakes. Okay. Copy the column name, come back here, paste it, comma, and now this is the commission PCT, okay? And then I'm going to apply this NVL function. How do you apply this NVL function? I'm going to give the column name, comma, 0. Okay, from dual, for now I'm giving it as from dual. So we are just going to see what is going to be the result. Okay. Okay, invalid identifier. I think I have given. There is a spelling mistake or something. Okay, my invalid identifier means this particular. Okay, my mistake. Sorry, guys. I'm supposed to choose the table which I'm actually using this commission PCT, right? I'm not using something default. So my mistake, it is not dual. Obviously, it is employee. So it has been replaced with 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in commission PCT, comma, so that we can see the difference. Okay. So here what happens is commission PCT is all null. Whatever null values has been converted, replaced with zeros. So what happened in do we have the data inside the commission PCT column and did it also get converted to 0? No, it should not have happened. Let's go down and check that. Yes, see the data, the actual data which is present is actually cascaded as same. But if there is a null value, then it is getting replaced. So what is the usage of this NDL function is nothing but wherever there is null value in that particular column, then it gets converted to the 0, the replace default value. So what are you trying to do is when you're pushing from one table to another table, where actually the data is present, it has to be cascaded and the null values to be replaced with the default value. So that is what exactly we are trying to do. We are going to replace it with the default value. So this is one introduction about the general functions. So NDL function, which is mostly used in all of the scenarios. Okay, count. One other function. Is the NDL function the only thing? No, there is another function called as count. What does this count do? What does this count do? This count functionality, what does it do is, the first type is count of star. So what does this count star do? Let's learn by practice. Let's learn by practice. So what we're going to do is select count of star. Okay, from employees. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to run this count star. So how many number of records are there in the employees table? 107. Let's go back to the employees table, click on data and scroll down and check whether it is actually having 107 or not. Okay, 107. So there is the last record is 107. So what happens? Okay, so what did it happen actually? When I give select star from employees, it listed out all the columns and column data, like all of the rows, records. Okay, so what did I do here? Select count star. So I want to count the exact count of all of the data, means of all the records. So that's why what I've done is select count star from employees table I've given. Okay, what is the next thing in do? What is the next thing? Count of expression. What does this count of expression do? Means what expression is nothing but the column. So let's just select, okay, count. I'm going to give commission PCT, which I've already copied without any mistake. Okay, so from employees, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm to run this query. So what did we get? Got 35. What is this 35? 35 records are actually having data. So out of 107 records, only 35 records are actually having data under this particular column. So if you want to get only the count of number of values which are present, say for example, if you're copying the data from one to another, and then if you want to re-verify, confirm whether all of it has been copied or not, as it is or not, then you should go through this count, use this count function, and verify the copy or verify the transaction which you have made in the database. Okay, so this is all about count of star and count of particular column, where all the records are actually counted. And here, when you give the particular column, null values are excluded. Okay, null values are excluded. What is the next thing? Distinct expression. What is this distinct you're talking about? Distinct is a unique thing. Okay, so we are going to do count star of distinct and then commission PCT, and then from employees. What are we actually learning here? What are we actually learning? The functions, the different ways to use the count functions. The first one was count star, where all of the records were counted and given the result. And second one is count of the particular column, where the null values are excluded, only the required or only the values, actual data present, the number of listed count of the listed data has been given. And then the next one is select count distinct commission PCT. What does this do? Out of this 35, I want to know only the unique values. Maybe 0.4 or 0.3 is repeated. Yes, we saw the result as 0.4, 0.3 and all. So maybe there are repetitions of in this 35. I want to exclude all the null values and I want to exclude all the duplicate repeated values as well. How do I get that? This is what you have got to do. Select count distinct commission PCT to select and check how many unrepeated unique values are there. 7. What did we get? 7 unique values are actually present in this commission PCT. So all of these things, why am I sitting and explaining, and you people are actually exploring all of these things? These are nothing but analytical ones. So you're trying to do the analysis of data, reconfirming, re-verifying whatever transaction you have done in the database. All of these functionalities are actually going to help you. Either it is NVL or count or whatever you have learned as part of this workshop, all of these things are going to help you in what? Analyzing the data inside the database. So that's what we are actually seeing. Okay, fine. So that's all about count. Set operators. Lovely, colorful one. I don't want to bore you with all black and whites. Let's have some colorful one. What is a set operators? You are talking about something. Union and union all, minus and intersect. What are these things? These are nothing but going to combine the results of two components, okay, like two different tables, and then you're going to combine the data inside these two tables, and you're going to display it. How are you going to combine and display it? There are 4 methodologies: union, union all, minus, and intersect. Okay, how and where this set operators are going to help me? In order to combine the data, or compare the data from one another and combine it and filter it and clog it together and put and see it as a single result, this set operators are actually used. So for analysis, apart from the functions, whatever we have seen, apart from the statements, for like manipulating and also, all of these things are actually going to help you in analysis. What are these things? The general functions and set operators. These are the things which are going to actually help in doing the data analysis. Okay, yeah, yes or not? So this is how a union is. A simple example of union. So this is table A and table B. Now I have given the colorful result of table A and B combined, union, and given this result. So for each and every record, and here each and every record has been combined and gives this particular result. So this is how the data inside two tables are getting combined, and set operators are actually helping us to do the data analysis. Yes or not? Okay. The next one, functions. Indu, what is this functions? Again, you've already taught us in the workshop. What about the functions here? Yes, you should know in detail what are the types of functions actually we have, and these are nothing but single row and multiple row. You can categorize the functions and then you utilize it. How do you categorize a single or multiple? If you have this function applied for multiple records, for example, the count, NVL function, these are the things which has been applied on a particular column, right? Multiple records, count of star, all the records did we apply? Yes. So there are number of records which has been rows, number of rows which has been used in this particular function. So it is called as multi-row. And coming back to single row, again in confunction, to date, these things are actually applied on for single row functions. So these are the things, categorize and learning how to do it. So these are the things which you should learn. So did we learn everything in the workshop? No, you got introduced to the functionalities which are available as part of SQL learning, and you're still learning more aggregate functions, analytical functions. There are a lot of things available. You have to step in further to explore and know and become an SQL expert, right? So the next one is subquery. Okay, so you have introduced us to the subquery. What you have done in the workshop is you have given a select statement. Yes, subquery is nothing but a select statement which is having two parts of queries. Okay, this select statement is going to have two parts. One is outer query and the inner query. Okay, where actually this inner query actually lies? Does it actually lie in where condition, or does it actually lie in from clause? Where clause or in from clause? Okay, what are you talking about, Indu? Yes. So select statement is actually having few things. Select so and so column, from which table, and where, what is the condition. There are three parts. Again here, the inner query is present in the where condition, it is called as correlated subquery. And the inner query, if it is present in the from clause, then it is called as non-correlated subqueries. What are these things which you're talking about? Dependent and independent queries. So dependent and independent, correlated and non-correlated. What is all these two types of subqueries? Because the subqueries are nothing but to analyze complex data. Complex data. So what happens? You have to club on few set of tables, and then from that particular result you are actually writing and filtering few things and writing a outer query on that particular result set. Then it is the correlated where condition, where clause applied in a query. In case if your result set is kept or used in the from clause, okay, apart from employees table, comma, you're putting this select query here, and then selecting some things from employees table and selecting few columns from the this select statement, the inner query. Then it is called as the next one, non-correlated. So these are two different queries. From these two different tables, we are actually trying to get the details and display it in the result. That's why it is called as correlated and non-correlated subqueries. So this is a definition. Come on. Yes, this is only the definition. What are the possible joins that we can perform through subqueries? What are you talking about? So you can perform whatever is as part of joins in subquery itself. Yes, you can do it. In join, what are you actually trying to do? Is nothing but you're trying to club more than one table and get the result data. The same thing you're trying to do it in the subquery. So obviously, what are the types of joins which you can do is self, outer, and equi. What is the self and equi? We know outer join. Yes, even in the outer join, you only thought as full and left outer and right outer joins. These are the things which we were talking about in the workshop. Again, in the subqueries concept, this is all about internal things, like even more specific joins which are related to Oracle database. So we have kept or designed this workshop to be applicable for more or less any type of SQL learning. That's why we have discussed about the general join conditions, and we have explored how to do a join and what is a join, what is its real functionality. Okay, so that leads us, okay, to the next topic, joins. So there are a lot of joins which are actually specific about this Oracle join. If you want to explore more on these joins, self-join, which is performed within the table. Ndl Usage joins are used for clubbing more than one table. Can a join happen within a table also? Yes. There is an option that is called a self-join. All of these things, semi, anti-join, cross-join, these are different types of joins, which is even more going to help you in analyzing the data. So whatever we have learned in this workshop, there are a lot of things which are going to happen in the next level. Next level. So these are the things which you should know and try to explore and to find out how I can efficiently do the data analysis. Okay, the last topic which I want you people to get introduced to is with statement. What is this with statement? What is this concept? Yes, with statements are like super cool with statements. What is a super cool statement? Because when you run a select query, okay, so in the select query, it is going to take some few seconds based on the data. Like real time, you'll be having a lot of data inside a table, lakhs of records in a table. And then if you want to perform a select, obviously it is going to take time. Because in your select statement, you'll be having lots of conditions, filtering conditions. So all of these filtering conditions will get applied. And then you're going to select the list of records. Okay, in which statement, what happens? In which statement, what happens? When you write a select, it is going to select the number of columns from which table, and then it is going to do the conditions. Okay, in which statements, what happens is, it is going to select all of those records which are actually getting cleared on the particular condition. So whatever condition you have given, all of those records will be selected and then only display the wanted things to you. Okay, so in this perspective, it is also called as inline view. It is processed like an inline view. So be aware of this inline view and with statement. So this is somehow how it is going to perform is, it is going to create a temporary. For example, when you copy something in your any document or something, where it goes, it is going to clipboard. Right, internally it is going to be there in the clipboard. Yeah, obviously the same thing kind of can be happening inside the database. There in the database, what happens is, it is going to be in the temporary table. The temporary table is going to get created, and out of this temporary table, it is referring this temporary table and displaying the actual result. So which statement is actually functioning in a different way than the select statement. Obviously, which statement is also a type of select only. Yes, it is a type of select, but there is a different way of processing execution between this select and with statement. And why are we knowing this now? And what is the use of this with statement is nothing but the performance. People were asking me so many in this batch, many were asking, how do I efficiently do the query? How do I get to know the whenever I'm running a select query, how do I make it into more quicker results? How can I get the more quicker results and all? So this is how you're going to accomplish. There are a lot of things which are related to this, which is going to help you in performance. Is nothing but all of performance tuning, all of performance related efficient way of running a query. So this is one of it with statements. So this is all about the workshop and related tricks in real time. Where exactly are you going to use it? And all of this is done. Okay, as part of this, with statement, join, subqueries, functions, and physical and logical view about the Oracle database. All of these things are actually going to help you, right? Once it is helpful, and then what we are going to do is, where you people are actually waiting for is 5 minutes of Q&A. Lot of questions were popping out. When we were going through the topics. These are the tricks. Quick 5 minutes Q&A session is going to be there. If in case you people are having any doubts, you can pop it out in the chat. I'm going to unlock. Okay, I'm going to open the chat. Do post the questions now. Only 5 minutes. Do post the questions now. Come on. Do post the questions. 5 minutes. Okay, there are already a few things. Is logical view always constant? I understand the physical view is going to change. Yes, logical view is always constant for the type of database, Radhika. Type of databases it is going to be. Can we import the user? No, with respect to the user means if you are referring, Sunil, if you're referring to the schema level of import and export can be happening, and database administrators should have the access or privilege to do the schema level import and export. Okay, all of the DB objects inside related to that particular schema can also be done, but not into Excel sheet or something. There will be a different procedure. Respective files will be generated, and those files will be imported, exported and imported in the target place. Okay, the next one, Devishi. I've restarted my PC. Now I'm unable to open the HR folder in Oracle SQL. Devishi, if you're facing any installation issue, please do contact later. Okay. And in case if it is telling us database not open, please refer the unlock HR document to perform how to open the database. Okay. Good. Recording is not going to be there. Today's webinar, you know that Sunday webinar, it is not recorded one. And again, Shakti, it is possible to import multiple worksheets. Yes, you can do it. Multiple worksheets can be imported and exported. Okay, can we create a new table as per our business requires? Definitely, Satish, you can do. Go ahead and create it. Okay. Try it out based on your domain, insurance domain, banking domain. Try it out. Populate as many number of data which you want inside your database so that you can do more analysis. Based on your requirement, change the unlocked database. Use the sample database. Load it with lot of data with respect to your domain, like whether you're from pharma domain or insurance or banking, whatever domain you are, try to load the data and then try to do a data analysis and perform join, subquery and all and see the results. Sarang, if you're asking for practical of width, this is an introduction in the webinar. So this is going to be part of the next stage. Right? Shows the demo. Okay, so everybody is asking the same. In some query, they are using database name dot schema name dot. Okay, yeah, yes, Kati, that's a right question. You can always go ahead and check and see that there are database name dot schema name. Why do we do that? During the deployment, we do that. And migration or upgradation, these are the times if there are few set of programs which are going to run as part of migration, upgradation or any kind of deployment into production or different environments from dev to test or test to production department, how this kind of deployments are going to refer us. The database should always be parameterized. So that's where they are going to use database name dot schema name dot the particular table name. Okay, the particular object name. So that is where they are going to create 3 parameters, 3 variables, one for database, one for schema and one for database object. So in database, corresponding database name will be created. Like for example, what we have done is we have installed only one database, but in real time you will have multiple databases. In development environment itself, you will have multiple databases. Okay, and in the test environment, you'll have multiple database, and in the production layer environment, you'll have multiple database. From which database of development, you have to push it to test and then push it to production database. Okay, so that database name is also going to be very important, because in that particular database only I'm having that particular schema, and inside that schema only I have that table where I have those related datas. Okay, so Indu, you told that HR related are stored in this. For example, this is an example database which we have downloaded and installed. That's why I talked about this HR schema, which is HR related. What if we have a huge, for example, SBI Bank? SBI Bank transactions are going to happen in multiple locations. Yes, in India, there are ATM machines in Delhi, and then again Tamil Nadu, Bangalore. There are so many places, Mumbai. So wherever these SBI's ATMs or banks are actually situated, how many transactions are going to happen? So geographically, you can actually create the databases. Geographically, for example, I'm talking about example here. So database can be created geographically, and inside the database again you'll have all the HR related and all of these schemas. Again in Mumbai also you'll have all of these schemas. Okay, so now if you want to take it as a regional, like South India and North India, then obviously Mumbai and Delhi and Uttar Pradesh, all of these things, set of things in that region, it will be grouped. So that database, schema and table, that database, schema and table, multiple databases and multiple schema inside it, and then respective tables will be there. So these are, the way you should start imagining and learning the concepts, right? Okay, one more question, and we are done with the Q&A session. So Jayachandran, you have told ma'am in the functions you explain about the joins, right outer join, left outer join and all. Can you explain it once how the values are stored in 0th position, 10th position and 100th position? And also, can you show the magnetic view details, how it will be, ma'am? Okay, Jayachandran, if you're expecting okay, so if you are trying to okay, how do I explain this is okay, so when you perform this right outer join and left outer join and inner join and outer join, these are different types of joins which I'm going to use these two hands. Okay, because if it is going to be a query, then it is going to be a lot of time it is going to consume. I'm going to use these two hands now. Okay, I hope you all are able to see my hands. It is visible. Hit on yes. Hit on yes if you're able to see my hands and fingers. Yes. Okay, good. So what happens is, I'm going to explain this concept very simple, very simple. Okay, there are two tables, left and right. Okay, left and right. There are two tables here. So all of these are left and all of these are right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first what I'm going to do is, I'm going to perform inner join. What does this inner join mean? Means I have given some conditions. These are the conditions. Okay, the matching records. The matching records are going to be as the result output. So what is going to be as part of the result? Only this. Only the matching records, which is actually my thumbs are interlocked. These are matching records which are getting overlapped, which are getting actually matching. So this is going to be your inner join result. Okay, fine. Come back. Okay, left outer join again. I'm again going to do a condition. All the left side table data plus the matching data is going to be on the record. So what is the result output? All of the, let's say, data and the matching record, I'm going to get as a result. What about the right outer join? All the right side of the data and the matching records will be in the result. And what about the full outer join? Both left, right, and the matching records, all of it are going to be as part of the result set. So this is all about how a data is actually get joined and displayed. About the positions. Okay, about the positions. How do you do the order? how do you do the order? You can always select the primary key column and then sort out order by it. So that is the only way where you can sort out and see the result of both the tables. Then you can sort out selecting a particular column, and then probably it is the primary key column. It will be helping you. Okay, I think I've answered your question, Devashi. Okay, one more minute. That's all. We're going to jump to the next part. Okay, one more minute. I'm going to answer these two. Okay, I'm going to lock. That's all about the questions. Okay, I'm going to lock the chat. So now what happened is, that is up to that quick 5 minutes Q&A session. Devashi does describe end with semicolon to yes. Any statement which you run, it is going to be supposed to be ending in semicolon. If you are going to run multiple statements, then you putting the end of the semicolon. It is like full stop in a paragraph. Paragraph will be having lots of sentences, right? So only when you put a full stop, you will know where the exact sentence is actually getting ends. Okay, where the sentence actually ends, right? In a paragraph. The same way semicolon is like that, where the particular statement is actually ends. Okay, that is how you are going to segregate. Instead of full stop, here we are using semicolon. Okay, when you're running one particular query and you're selecting and running, then there is no point in having a semicolon also. For example, what I have done in this webinar or in the workshop, again, I would have selected the statement and run it. So it need not, because whatever you're selecting should be a full complete selection of the statement, and then when you run it, it will understand. Okay, so that is the point. And the next question, you're going to wrap it up. Okay, Samiksha, in database object, you take only one object table. Can you please explain the remaining object like view trigger? Okay, Samiksha, these you have to understand the difference when you take an example of Oracle database. With respect to Oracle, what happens is there is a fine line between SQL and PLSQL. This is the programming language part. Okay, this programming language or the programming logic part, the logical part where all the loops are coming in, where all the advanced concepts are coming in, are called as PLSQL. Okay, where the logics are involved. Coming back to SQL, this is a frame platform where people have come out of vague idea what is an SQL, what am I going to learn out of it. So we have designed this workshop to understand or make you understand, to introduce you to the database and how you should perform a SQL learning with respect to the database. What are we actually introducing you? Take an example database and you learn the SQL with respect to the taken example database is the format which we have introduced to you. Okay, irrespective of whether you're going to follow the same Oracle database, or in future if you want to shift to the Microsoft or any SQL Server or MySQL, whatever database you're going to actually your working professional or your projects be. Okay, with respect to that, you will be able to do that. You will be able to do how to do this learning. I know SQL, and according to this Oracle database, I know a few things, and where exactly the function names and probably the conceptually, where are the few things which are actually getting added in Oracle and which is different in SQL Server. How are these going to be there? Okay, these are the things which you are going to actually find and make your learning effective, productive. Okay, so that is why we have taken this example and we're actually done. Okay, so that I think I have given the example, and about view trigger and all are little advanced, where you should understand these workshop topics and then only you can go and perform the view trigger. Okay, that is one thing. Second one is, okay, the next question is, what's the difference between the select and describe? Okay, select is to see all the data. Select is to see all the data, and describe is nothing but where you actually see the structure of the table. Select is see the data and describe the structure. Okay, data and structure are two different things. When you have introduced this part, metadata is nothing but structure of the table. Okay, so metadata is what you're going to get out of describe, and actual data is something which you get out of select query. Okay, Vinod has asked, trick to remember join syntax because bit tough. Okay, Vinod, the only thing which you're going to do is you have to practice. That is the only trick. No shortcuts for success, guys. Guys, all of you, no shortcuts for success. Effort and time. These are the two important things. If you're missing your effort, only spending time, again, success is going to be very far. Okay? Only effort and no time, again, success will be going to be very far. You're putting a lot of effort and not giving enough time to practice or enough time you're dedicating it. Yeah, again, success is going to be little far. Effort and time are going to be in hand, then only you can reach the success soon. So there is no shortcut for success. So you have to practice and see the results. So this is a practical thing. When you run one join and perform, you will get only 35 records. When the next time when you run, it might result in different set of records. Okay, you have to do the analysis and get experienced in it. That is what is very important, and you should know that analysis is always going to be different for different people. So the way you do the analysis will be different for me, the way I do will be different for you. So co-work, share knowledge, and then learn. That might even help you to reach success little faster. Okay, done. Radhika, when you perform inner join with primary key and foreign key relationship, how many records will be displayed? Okay, so irrespective of whether it is primary key, foreign key relationship, actually the conditions are written with primary key, foreign key relationships. Okay, so whatever join you're performing, it is actually going to be dependent on the primary key, foreign key relationship. And obviously, only this matching records, what I was talking about, this matching record, the conditions which I was talking about, which is nothing but based on the primary key and foreign key relationship. Guys, this is the main reason. This is the main reason why we have seen in detail about introduction to data, the types and constraint. And I've asked, so many of you have come back on the Q&A session, whether both in the first and the second Q&A section, asking for, I do not understand this constraint. So bluntly, general questions were coming up, popping up. I've asked you to revisit the video, see it twice, thrice, as many number of times until you get it. And if you're stuck somewhere in the particular constraint, you come and ask me the question so that I could explain with better example. Generally, don't explain all the constraints. It will be a live session there. Right? So what happens here is this PK and FK, this relationship is the main thing which you are doing in the join, and that is called as matching records. So in the inner join, obviously, the PK and FK, foreign key and primary key matching is actually happening, and records will be displayed which are actually without any duplicates. If that is your question which you're asking, without any duplicates, it will be giving the only matching records. Okay, so that's all about, guys. We have had a quick 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes session, Q&A session, workshop related. I'm not going to take any more workshop related questions anymore. So before going to the next topic, Indu, you were keep on telling that there is this bonus going to come. Bonus is going to come, right? Yes or no? Yes. Your mega webinar bonuses are here. Your mega webinar bonuses are here, where you should be having lots of questions. Okay, this workshop is done, and now I have few ideas, and in this mega webinar, I have learned few more tricks and few more other, exposable concepts. Still, I have to explore more. I have got exposed to new concepts. So these kind of exploration has to be done, and there are a lot of things which I have to work. I have to practice all of these things. Self-practice. I have to, based on this workshop, I've got all of this, mind-blowing ideas about what are the functionalities which are available in the SQL. Again, I have to practice it to become an expert, right? So if you become an expert, then what it means is you have done enough practices. Of all, you have done more exploration and you have done more practice. So what is really required as part of this bonus? The first one is nothing but real world assignments for practice. Real world assignments for practice. What is this? For your self practice, we are giving set of assignment questions which are going to help you to do a practice. These practice papers, these practice questions are going to help you in a way in that how do we do the analysis, the data analysis perspective, the thinking and the approach. These implementation will be the result of this assignment. So these assignments are going to help you to do the data analysis. This is the first thing that you're getting. First thing that you're getting. The second one, top 50 SQL interview questions. Who are already placed in a company, I'm least bothered about this interview questions. I'm not even going to do a self-evaluation. You have done a workshop here for 1 week. You have dedicated yourself to do this 1 hour of, you have committed of 1 hour of SQL learning for each day. This whole entire week you have dedicated your time for SQL. Another 1 more week also you'll be having access to the videos where you go and doubts will be clarified by seeing the videos. And then again, all of these things, 2 weeks. How are you going to do the evaluation, self-evaluation? What did I know? What are the things? Where should I start practicing? What is furthermore after this workshop? After this workshop, what am I supposed to do? Yes, all of these things, self-evaluation and what after workshop are these 2 things, assignments and interview, where you can self-evaluate and get into the, you can crack the questions in interview with respect to all the respective workshop titles, topics. Okay, so in order to get these bonuses, tell me that you want these bonuses. Then obviously I'm going to unlock the chat. I'm going to unlock the chat. Tell me that you want this, and then yes, chat is unlocked. I'm going to give you the access. Come on, tell me how many people of you want these things. To do a self-evaluation, where do I stand in SQL? Where do I stand in SQL? And how do I get practice? Yes, 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 it is going on. Very good, very good, very good. Yes, we are going to get it. Be ready, guys. Be ready. Take a screenshot. 15 seconds. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of this. And this is the link where you're supposed to go and get these 2 parts, assignments and the self-evaluation interview questions. Take a screenshot and save it somewhere. Take a screenshot and save it somewhere. You're going to get exclusive assignments and interviews. This is where you're going to get the self-evaluation and more practice. This is all about the bonuses. This is all about the bonuses. Okay, am I good with the bonus? Am I done with SQL? Am I really good with SQL and bonus? Am I good to go for a job interview, and am I going to be an expert in SQL? Not just clearing an interview, not just clearing an interview. Am I going to be an expert? Am I going to be an expert in SQL? That's what I'm looking forward to. How do I have to do that? How do I have to do that, achieve that? Yes? How do I have to do that and achieve that is what is the next topic. Okay? 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Excuse me. 2 seconds more. Good. 1, 2. Done. 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 Okay. You should have taken the screenshot. You should have taken the screenshot. Please take the screenshot. Okay. Done. That is all about the bonuses. We are going to jump into the next thing. So after this practice, self-evaluation, you talked about lot of join conditions, self-join, anti-join, semi-join, and again subqueries, correlated, non-correlated, analytical functions, general functions, lot of things you told which were not covered. And again, there are a lot of database objects which were not covered as part of this workshop. Again, where do I get access to all of these things? Does that tell me that I have to learn more? Absolutely have to learn more. Absolutely, this is going to get covered. Okay, so this is something which is going to help you. This is something which is going to help you. Advanced SQL Masterclass. This package, believe me guys, this advanced SQL masterclass package is going to have all of the answers which you're actually seeking after this webinar session. A lot of things which you are going to actually seek. Am I going to be an SQL expert of knowing all? Have I explored all of the parts of SQL? No, not in this workshop yet, but you have been introduced to SQL and you have made this strong foundation. With all set of your strong foundation, where do you jump and where do you actually swim? So far what you have done is, nothing but you have practiced swimming. Through watching the videos, you have learned, you have watched a video how to do swimming. Okay, right? The next thing what you have done is, by installing the database, by trying it out the queries, you have practiced how to do it. Means you have practiced how to swim in a swimming pool. Yeah, right? Again, with the skill set, by watching the video and again practicing in your sample database where you actually practice the swimming in the swimming pool, can you go and swim in the ocean or in the river? Guys, no, you cannot do that. By practicing swimming in the swimming pool, it is totally different from giving a stroke on the opposite pressure. The stream is running in the river. That is very difficult. Again, in the ocean, sea, where you can do the swimming, again there will be lot of altitude differences, pressure will be more, right? So this is lot of experience. So furthermore, if you want to become an exploration should be in the next level, then this advanced SQL masterclass is going to give all of those knowledge in one strike, 1 point reference where you can do all of that. Become an expert and do this stroke, swimming in your ocean or river, and then call yourself, put your collars up and say that I'm an SQL expert. Yes, I've done it. So this is where you're going to do this. Advanced SQL masterclass is going to help all of it. What are the things which I'm going to cover as part of this SQL masterclass? Advanced SQL masterclass is going to have 12 exclusive learnings. What are we going to do? 12 exclusive learnings. These 12 exclusive learning modules are going to help you to become this SQL expert. This SQL expert is divided into 12 learning modules. So what are these learning modules? We'll give a quick refresh of what are these going to be part of it, and then we're going to jump into the next topic. Okay. First one is DBMS essentials. Okay, so that's where I come. Okay, that's where we are going to do is DBMS essentials, where we are going to learn about the management system, database management system. What about this DBMS? Are we going to look into this DBMS where you're actually going to learn only the DBMS? What is this management system? It is a software tool. This module is going to help you to learn, right? To learn this actual part where this is going to help you to understand database and the management system, the software which has been applied, how this database is actually managed. Again, Oracle, again, where are you actually excited about? Oracle is a relational database management system. What is this relational database management system? What are the relational DBMS databases which are available in the market right now? All of these things which are having the value of 3,000, which is value of 3,000, where you will learn the database management system, what is an RDBMS, what is the difference, how many number of databases are actually there, and which is in peak, and what you are supposed to learn or get introduced to this management system. This is whole lot of module information which you're going to get the value of 3,000, and the total value so far is what? 3,000. Next one, ER diagram mastery. You're going to do a mastery in ER diagram. What is this entity relationship diagram? What is this entity ER diagram? ERD, entity relationship diagram. You're taking two of the entities and you're actually relating it. This relation, you are supposed to understand this relationship and the respective attributes. Okay, respective attitudes in perspective of this relationship. This module is going to make you understand inside a database management system, how this relationship is going to happen and how this relationship's attributes are going to help you understand the entity and attribute relationships as well. So this is going to be 4,500. What is the value of this 4,500? What are all we are going to see? All the blueprints. How is this actual single relationship works out inside a database? What am I talking about? More about database. Having this introduction to database alone is enough. No, that is not enough. Introduction to database is alone not enough, because that is only going to give a basic idea about what is a database. Again, in this, you're going to understand about the software, the management system. And again, inside a management system, you're going to know how the relationships are actually maintained. How the relationships between two entities are actually maintained. And this is the value of 4,500. And the total value becomes 7,500. So far, 7,500. The next module, what we are going to see, schema design. So you have understood the concept of relationships. Imagine there are a lot of relationships in the, and you are framing a big picture of network in front of you. Imagine in the database, there are a lot of tables. Each two tables or three tables are again linked. All the linking of all the tables, entities, and the respective number of attributes means columns. How this entire big picture of blueprint or this entire big picture of network is actually going to be. That kind of analysis, that kind of knowledge is going to got from this particular module, the third module, Schema Design Expert. Once you do this, you can expert the schema design. Guys, when you learn SQL, how are you going to shine? How are you going to shine? Because you're going to have a bigger picture. A developer would always come into a conservative knowledge where, okay, this work is given to me, I'll sit and do the analysis and I'll give the result set. That is all his workers, that is what he has been paid for. Come on, if you want to shine and go ahead and get promotions and equally going to jump into next positions, designations, then this is your target. You should understand the database management system, the relationship between the entities, and the bigger network picture. Only if you have these kind of knowledge about your particular project, any project you go, any domain you go, these are the things which you have to know so that you can step on to the next levels. And that is exactly how you reach this total value of 12,000. So this total value is nothing but the knowledge under each modules which you have seen. I have told 12 modules are there. Again, the next one is nothing but normalization. So you have done the complete networking. In front of you, the complete schema design is there, complete networking, how many database objects are there, all of it are there in front of you. And again, each entity and each attributes, how can be normalized? What do you mean by normalization? What do you mean normalization? You cannot, you are avoiding all the redundant data. What do you mean by redundant data, Indu? Redundant data is nothing but the duplicates. Do not have any repeated values. Not the duplicates which we were discussing in the workshop. Not the duplicates which we were discussing in the workshop. When you club more than one or two entity relationships, okay, there is this bigger picture of schema design where all of the tables are actually linked, and more than one table will be having relevant data. So employees table and department table, both of the table is having department ID. Yes, that is how you link it. Foreign key, primary key relationship. And again with those, for a particular one, if you are keeping this normalization, your understanding of the schema design is going to the next level. Imagine you have this database management understanding, and then relationship understanding, and the third one is schema design understanding. How can you reconfirm? How can you be an expert of this schema designing? How can you make sure that this redundant data doesn't confuse you? Your data analysis should be so perfect that even the normalized form should be known by you. That is what we are going to do in this particular module, which is absolutely going to teach you teach you all the normalized forms, and this value is about 3000, which leads to the total value of 15K, 15,000. So far we have covered so many modules which are going to be very general, and it is going to help you in the way it is going as actually designed as a database management system. Yeah, 15,000. Next one, joins. Here it comes A to Z about all the joins which we have discussed as part of this webinar. What are the webinar discussions we had? Self-join, all of those things will be covered as part of this joins concept. Different kind of joins which you can perform inside a table, outside a table. What are the conditions? How do you want to non-exist or existing kind of anti-join or semi-join? All of these things are going to get explored during as part of this particular module, where it is absolutely of the value 4,000, which increases our total value as 19,000 so far. What have you already done is knowing all of it about the management system, and then you have understood the bigger picture, which is going to help you to understand and push yourself to the next level of hierarchy in your organization. And now you're actually being benefited out of the knowledge by learning all of the types of joins which you have. And the next one is subqueries. Subqueries, where you're actually and absolutely understanding the parent and child relationship in the subqueries. So far we did not discuss anything about parent and child relationship. And again, in a subquery, how do you push the functions, aggregate functions and joins concept? We have already seen the self join, inner join, outer join, EP join. These are the things which can be accomplished by the subquery, not just going to joins itself. The same concept, the same kind of data analysis and combination can be achieved without using the joins, but can be achieved in the subqueries as well, with the help of aggregation functions and self-join, and all these kind of concepts can be covered in subqueries. Parent-child relationship. Okay, so that is going to help you to make your level of understanding, this knowledge-wise. So far, management system has been understood, and now your knowledge-wise, you're getting the senior, expert knowledge. And then now with all of these things, the total value has increased to 23,500. So this total value is absolutely going to help you to understand or push yourself forward for the next hierarchical level and with the next level of knowledge. So where are you actually standing? You have done or got all the understanding of all the knowledge and management system. Now the next part is nothing but the sorting. So you have clubbed all the data. Now what is the result which you are holding in your hand? Is complex data. The resulted complex data should be sorted so that you can understand what kind of analysis you have done and how the sorting actually happens. Under the sorting, what kind of ascending, descending, what kind of sorting you can perform as part of this complex data. So this kind of sorting, ordering the actual complex data, again, on which part in your subquery, in your join, where exactly and how exactly are you going to implement to actually sort the complex data which you have? Yes, with the knowledge and management system, you're going to the next level of analyzing the data by sequentially ordering it. Yes, sequentially ordering, ascending, descending, and whatever can be applied as part of join or subquery, all of these sorting will be thought at absolute value of 3,500, which increases the total value of 27,000. Right? 27,000. So for 7 modules, you told us 12 modules. What is the next one is independent subqueries and correlated subqueries. We have already seen the introduction about this independent and correlated subqueries, non-correlated and correlated subqueries. You have an idea about what this can be. Apart from the subqueries, which are going to implement the join functionality and the aggregation functions, we can actually build a complex subquery itself. Forget about sorting the complex data. Now we are building the complex subquery itself. These are nothing but 4,000 and 4,000 equal values of about how do you analyze or how do you categorize and get the requirement. And when a client is going to come to you, they are going to absolutely ask you questions or ask their requirement to be put up in the English. So when you're going to go through that and understand it and then come up with a proper understanding of what is the requirement and prepare an understanding document and then jump into technical platform where you have to know this management system, ER diagram, schema design, normalization, and all of the knowledge about the joins and subqueries and how to do the sorting of all of the complex data. Not only that is important, sometimes your real-time projects and real-time scenarios, how it would look like. Those would look like we are just have to perform some subqueries, which are really very complicated, clubbing more than one result set with the actual table or the actual table with the another actual table. So this correlated and independent subqueries are going to teach you how to get the required data by building a complex and efficient subquery. Believe me, this is also going to be efficient. Okay, because there is huge lots of data is going to be. This is of total value 35,000. So far you have got into 9 exclusive learning modules where it is absolutely worth for 35,000. The next one is analytical functions. Are these aggregation functions and other things are more than enough? No. Still more, you have some analytic functions. Analytic functions are nothing but going to help you to analyze the data in a bigger picture. This is absolutely of value of 4,000. Why are we actually discussing about this value? Because lot of analytic functions are you're going to get used to this as part of this particular module, where you can use it for any kind of business intelligence tools or data analytical tools or data science tools. Believe me, this particular module is going to help you to understand the advanced concept of analytics function, which is actually going to help you to pursue the higher degree of analysis, like as a data scientist or an analyst or even using a business intelligence tool. Yeah, even using business intelligence tool where you actually see lot of graphical representation where you actually try to understand or forecast so many revenues. So if you want to forecast a revenue or understand, so in the hierarchy when you are growing, these are the things which you are supposed to know. If you already know these things, that is how you calculate this value. If you already know these things, just imagine where you could stand in your organization. Just imagine, so far whatever until this 12 modules, so far where do you exactly stand in the organization? So this is absolutely the total value of 39,000 so far. The next one is set operation. We have already seen, apart from all of these things, you simply have to do a combination of data and display it. These are the things which are going to help you to simply describe. What if you're put up in a position where please don't give this complex theories or complex queries and try not to confuse me. Just give a simple representation. When I have this result and this result, I'm going to club these two and I'm going to explain you and give this result, the output. Okay, so 2 table values and then give a complete neat output value. So how are you going to explain this to a client? How are you going to explain this to a non-SQL person? Then you should know how to represent it and how to do that by using the set operations. Set operations are going to absolutely help you to actually express. So far, whatever you have gained, this knowledge is going to help you, absolutely help you to explain the concept to a non-SQL person in a simpler way. So knowing set operation is somewhere, it is going to push you to the front line. So far, you have been a back-end person. Knowing all of these schema designing and everything, you're growing in your hierarchy of organization. And again, this set operation, again, this value of 4,500, which is going to absolutely teach you where and how are you going to express yourself, put yourself into a shoes and stand and explain things and make them understand where I'm actually doing it right now to you. The same thing which you can also be doing using these simple logics of set operations in perspective of data analysis. Data analysis can be done in simpler manner with set operations. So that increases the total value to 43,500. Oh, Indu, 43,000. What is the next one? 12th exclusive module is nothing but grouping and filtering. Come on, this grouping and filtering is much more excited one. Just having all of these complex data, all of analytical and aggregation functions. Imagine you have the result set, which is much more huge and much more complex, and these are actually sorted. Even after sorting, you're supposed to display it in a different way. Though you're combining all these data, though you're combining all the and grouping all of these things, and you're not actually sorting it out in a particular format, but the result set which you're actually supposed to be displaying or to be given to the client, it cannot look in a clumsy way. It cannot look in a clumsy way, or it cannot be disorganized. Right? So in order to make the client understand whatever you're actually trying to give as an output is nothing but grouping and filtering. You filter the unwanted things and you group the relevant data into a particular groups and then display it accordingly. After sorting, this is going to absolutely satisfy the client. So this is the knowledge which is completely worth of 4,000, where in this module you will know by the end of this 12 modules, the total value is 47,500. And again, what is the accomplishment you have done so far? By all of these modules, 12 modules, again, what have you accomplished? You knew how to grow higher in your hierarchy. You have absolutely got all the analytical functions and analytical skill set which you need to be an SQL expert. And then you also learned how to display it to a client and convince them and to explain them in a simpler way and to get hold of the client. And you are absolutely going to be an important team member. Team member. You're going to shine on the particular project. These are all of these things, the 12 exclusive learning modules which are going to help you to perform or to be a better SQL person, means a SQL expert, and then crack any of the errors which is going to be on your way. Each module will be having error reference also. Each of it will be having error reference also. What do you mean by error reference into? Because each of modules we will be exploring how the error could happen, how to debug, and how to understand each of the modules even more better. All of these things are under this total value 47,500. Great. Now you have known all about the 12 learnings in one masterclass. This masterclass is absolutely going to be containing all of these 12 learning modules, exclusive learning modules, which are going to have lots of information, and each module is going to carry each value out of it. Each module is actually having value of each module is actually contribute to the total value. Now again, what we are actually going to see here is, under one roof are you going to get all of these modules? Yes, under one roof are you going to get all of these modules. How am I supposed to learn it? How am I supposed to master this? By learning all of these modules, let's discuss the key features. One again, quick key features. What is going to be part of this advanced SQL masterclass? What is going to be part of this advanced SQL masterclass? The first thing is, do I have to sit and learn? See, a lot of things you have told. Each module is going to have so much of value and so much of information and so much of discussion, clarification. Lot of things are going to be happen. Am I going to contribute, sit and learn with you with all other batchmates? Am I going to sit and learn with you in live and then going to be stressed out whether you're working night shift or day shift, you're a student, or you're trying to explore or crack an interview, whatever it is? Am I going to sit with this SQL alone in your life? No, absolutely not. You can be on comfort as part of workshop here also in the advanced SQL masterclass. You can learn all of it at your ease, at your comfort zone, because this is going to be a recorded module for your convenience. It will be of a recorded module of your convenience. So this is going to be absolutely pre-recorded, where each and every aspect of that particular module will be discussed and will be taught to you in a step-by-step process. This is what is absolutely going to happen as part of recorded modules. What next? What next? Am I having a lot of clarifications to be done? Am I having a lot of questions to be asked? Where exactly? Who can help you? Absolutely, I'm going to be your mentor. I'm going to help you and guide you to become an SQL expert. How am I going to do that? By 10 live mentorship calls. For all the 12 exclusive learning modules, you're going to have 10 live mentorship calls where you're going to absolutely get my guidance. Absolutely get my guidance. Excuse me. So recorded modules at your ease, at your comfort level, are you going to learn? Yes. And you're going to get guidance from me? Yes. I'm going to be there to support you and going to guide you. And now, what am I going to do as part of this advanced SQL masterclass is, are you going to learn this all functionalities in a fun way? Imagine, guys, can you learn this advanced SQL masterclass in a fun way? How well it would be, and how practically could you actually understand the database concepts? Knowing a database and the data inside it, it is all boring and all theoretical part. And again, to make it into a fun way, we have brought up with live or practical examples which will actually make you think and act. Okay, and anything which you do, before you do, you have to think. So obviously this learning, practical learning, is going to make you, invoke you to do thinking process first. So your analysis will be much more faster. Your query writing performance will be much more faster than any other person, any other SQL person. So these are the things which are going to make you efficient and SQL expert in a crowd. In a crowd, you're going to shine by learning these thinking and approach, whatever you're going to learn. These are the things which are going to make you as an SQL expert. And yes, definitely we're going to learn this in a fun way. All the complex functionalities will be taught and learned in a fun way. Okay, so all of these are done. Basic things, recording, 12 guidance and all these things. What am I going to do? How long am I going to have access for these things? Absolutely, guys, everyone is coming forward with the same question. Am I going to have access for these videos for longer, and how long am I going to have this access for, and am I going to get all the updates or not? Absolutely, guys, this software, any software you take in Android versions, every version is getting updated. Any software has to be updated according to the latest features. All of the latest features will be added to the next version. So obviously SQL is also going to be a software which is going to grow, and it is going to have all the latest features and everything. Do I have to learn all of these individually? No, absolutely not. You can imagine that you're going to get all of these things under one roof. One point of contact where you get all of these things: the lifetime access and updates. Lifetime access and the updates, all the latest updates, and whatever you have won, whenever you want, you come back and refresh your memory. Come back and refresh your memory. I'll tell you where exactly this is going to help you, because you're going to be put up in one particular project where the project is going to give you a minimized exposure. The project is going to give you minimized exposure. Where I have worked, I've worked in multiple MNC companies where there are projects which are going to give only certain set of tasks to me as a developer, certain set of tasks to me as a tester or a production support person. So when I am given only certain set of tasks, I'll be keep on performing that, and I'll be learning only the respective skill set with respect to that particular tasks alone. I will not be getting access, or I will not even be exploring the other functionalities. I'll be put up in such kind of. So this is where you're going to come back and refresh your memory and get updated under one roof about the other functionalities. What are you actually missing as part of working in this particular project? So project knowledge, domain knowledge, and again the SQL knowledge, and again whatever you're getting as part of the upgradation or any updates, again that will also be, and it is for everything for lifetime. Imagine everything for lifetime. Obviously, guys, everything is done features. Am I going to get certified as an SQL expert? If you have followed all of the videos and learned everything under the mentorship of me, and then understand the complex functionalities of SQL, and having a lifetime access of coming and getting you updated, it is keep on making you to be updated and being an SQL expert. Obviously and absolutely you're going to be an SQL expert. Obviously, you're going to be an SQL expert. And as part of this expert, we have trained, and so we take the privilege of you are going to get this certified. You are going to be a certified SQL expert. The Skill Nation is going to actually going to certify it, and you are going to be a certified SQL expert. These are the main important things as part of Advanced SQL Master class. Okay, so what are the perks? What are the perks? What am I going to do with this after this Advanced SQL Masterclass? In case if you're a student, if you're going to have a lot of questions in your hands, and I have this real heartbeat raising in before me going into any interviews. Forget about interviews in the company. Even if you're working inside a company, even if you're going to shift from one project to another project, what in real time is going to happen? If you're shifting from one project to another project, again, they'll be evaluating you. As part of, for me, for example, I have shifted from one project to another project in Wipro or Caterpillar, wherever I have worked. So what happens is, when I worked in a particular project, I would have performed few set of tasks, and I would have have an exploration about this relative skill set. Okay, well and good. The next thing is, when I shift to another, when I get released from this project and going to the next project, again, they will be having a profile and they will be having a list of tasks. Yes or not? For those list of tasks, again, I have to be ready to perform it. If I'm not matching, if I say I don't know, then obviously they're not going to take me in. Right. So forget about even getting into a new company. Even if you're working inside a company, if you're shifting to a particular project, from a particular project to a particular project, then obviously you should have an exploration of other functionalities. Yes, as part of this Advanced SQL Masterclass, under one roof, you can have access to all of those functionalities, other functionalities. And this is absolutely going to make you as a self-equipped SQL expert to face any kind of interview, whether it is outside the company or inside the company, whether you're trying to shift the company from one company to another company, or as a student, the first time you're going to appear for an interview. Obviously, any time of your shift from a company to company or a project to project, or a new student getting into a company after the theory and learning of degrees, again, you're absolutely going to crack any kind of SQL interview. Any kind of SQL interview, you'll be able to crack after this. If you're having the access to this, you will have all the answers with you so that you can crack any SQL interview. Next one is build a career. Build a career. How do you actually go and think of being yourself? Where do you actually stand after 5 or 10 years? Where do you actually stand, and what kind of work? What are you going to be in 5 or 10 years? In case if you are imagining to be on a success side, where you have to master the data analysis, and then through analyzing the data, you want to become a scientist of the data. Yeah, right. These are the two major things which you can do. Two major things you can do. Build a career as a data scientist and data analyst. Build a career as a data scientist and a data analyst. There are a lot of PG diploma degrees and everything is going to be part of this. They're becoming a data scientist and data analyst. But in order to pursue that, you should have a basic knowledge on few things where you absolutely get all of those analytical skills. All of those analytical skills are covered as part of this advanced skill masterclass, where you're absolutely going to get advanced knowledge about how do you acquire a data, how do you perform analysis on a data, and how do you push a data into respective requirements. All of these will be part of this. And being a data scientist and analyst, what do you think? What do you guys think? Okay, will be your salary. I'm going to open the chat. Just let's have a, yeah, just ping me. What do you think? How much will be your salary package as a data scientist or a data analyst? Come on, ping me. So in the chat, just drop 75,000 per month. Okay, Max, I'm asking for your package, CTC. Yeah, just give any clue. Genuine, 12 lakhs per annum. Amit, okay. 15 lakh, okay. Coming again. So a lot of people are giving 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 10 lakhs. Okay, very good. Let's come back to the reality where the people who have experience in SQL and who have worked in the companies and then become a data scientist or analyst, absolutely. But even a student becoming a data scientist and a data analyst to have, okay, 8 lakhs per year. A student, the starting salary for becoming a data analyst, 8 lakhs per year. If you're having no experience in SQL or any data scientist or an analyst, the starting package would be 8 lakhs. Imagine you have already worked in few companies. What could be your level of achievement? Where could you stand? More than 15, more than 18 you could reach. Right? And the next one is 9 lakhs per year for data scientists. For data scientists, the starting itself is 9 lakhs per year. If you're a student and you have basic knowledge about all of these things, this is where you're going to apply your advanced mastery of this SQL language, where you are going to reach another level of in your career. So this is about the starting of 8 lakhs and 9 lakhs, and you can have experience and go inside as 12 or 15. And again, after in 5 or 6 years, you could be reaching greater heights to 20 or 22 or 24 lakhs per year. Imagine that is all you're going to reach such a great height. Okay, do I have to wait until I become a data scientist or a data analyst? Do I have to learn all of these things? Okay, so after this masterclass, what should I do? Where should I go? Do I have to wait to become an analyst or a scientist and then reach the 8 lakhs? Can't I start the career now? Meanwhile, I can do the learning of becoming a scientist and analyst. Absolutely, yes, you can do that. You can go ahead and start earning as a SQL consultant. SQL consultant. After knowing this, you can absolutely go and serve as an SQL consultant, which would again, okay, have two parts, part-time or full-time. Part-time, you can do it and you can pursue your data analytics or data scientist, and then you can become one as soon as possible. And then full-time also you can work, gain as much of knowledge as you want, and then you can go ahead. What would be that? What would be your starting? 40,000 per month for part-time itself, and then 1.7 lakhs per month for full-time consultant. Believe me, even as an SQL consultant, you are going to do the earning, and then you need not even wait for to become a data analyst or a data scientist. This package is going to help you to become a SQL consultant and pursue and have all the projects work which you're going to do as part of this consultation. Absolutely, guys. You're going to get all of these things: lifetime access, updates, exclusive mentorship, and all the advanced concepts. And again, to pursue as a data analyst or a scientist, or you want to continue as a SQL consultant, your scope is widened to such an extent that you're getting so much out of this particular master class. And all of this, so far, you have seen the total value. Yes, you have seen the total value. And now, can I get this masterclass package? How much would be? How much would be this masterclass? Absolutely 47,500. That is a fee which we have seen. The total worth of 47,500. 12 exclusive learning modules where each and everything is going to help you in growing in your hierarchy or going in your career path, or even taking a next step of becoming an analyst or a scientist. So absolutely, how am I going to benefit? Indu, I've been part of your workshop, and how am I going to be benefiting this package? How am I going to take this package? Obviously, there is not the price. You're going to get an exclusive discount, limited period offer. Whoever has attended this workshop, these workshop attendees, you are going to get this limited offer. After attending this workshop, you will be much more stronger in your foundations because you have followed our video sessions and you have followed and already have my guidance with you, where you have certain set of learning approach. You have gained the SQL learning approach, the platform to platform, the foundation has been put up, where to increase and put the ceiling. All these approach you have already got into. When you've already got into, obviously we have to give a good, valuable, limited time offer, which is going to be there as part of 5,999. 5,999. This is going to be for mentorship, learnings, reference, lifetime access, where you can come and get all the updates under one roof, where actually you can start doing your career as an SQL consultant. As 5,999, guys, believe me, this is going to be work. And this 5,999 is going to be absolutely for next 20 minutes. Next 20 minutes. So guys, in your WhatsApp group, you will be pushed into a link where you will be getting a link in WhatsApp group. In case if you want, do go and register for it. And this exclusive discount is only for 20 minutes. This is only for 20 minutes. I'm going to start the 20 minutes. I'm going to start the 20 minutes. Okay. Next 20 minutes, you will have this offer, limited offer for you people. Okay, so now it's 20 minutes. Again, for this 20 minutes, you will be having this offer. You're going to absolutely gain all of these 12 learning exclusive modules where you can go ahead and pursue whatever part of this SQL consultant you can do.